How sweet to be a cloud floating in the blue. Every little cloud loves to sing aloud. That is a quotation, of course, from that renowned meteorologist and cloud expert, Winnie the Pooh. But what exactly is a cloud? And how does it sing aloud, as Pooh assured us it does? Well, the first thing to remember is that clouds matter. Yes, clouds matter, by which I mean, of course, that clouds are composed of matter. But what state of matter? Is it gas, liquid, solid? Well, the answer is yes. It is at least two of those, and possibly all three. Yes, certainly there is a gas. There is, for one, there is air there. Air is there, and air is actually a mixture of many gases, including nitrogen, oxygen, argon, krypton, kryptonite. Hold on, back up. Strike the kryptonite. No kryptonite. Krypton, xenon, and many, many other trace gases. Gases which leave only a trace. Ooh, how mysterious is that? And then there is another very important gas there, water vapor. That's the gas that liquid water turns into when it evaporates. Water evaporates, where did it go? Water vapor. And that is an invisible gas. And at this point, I know some of you are thinking, that guy thinks he's so smart. He thinks water vapor's invisible. I've seen water vapor. Let me assure you, no, you have not seen water vapor. Water vapor is invisible. What you're thinking of is steam. Steam is visible. And steam, it so happens, is very similar to what clouds are made of. Steam is gas plus liquid. Gas plus liquid water. And so now some of you are starting to worry. You're thinking, wait, liquid water can float up into the sky? Oh no, I shouldn't have left the cover off of the swimming pool. I'd better go home and put the cover on before all the water takes off into the sky. No, do not worry. That will not happen because the water in your swimming pool is too heavy. In order for liquid water to float up in the sky, it needs to be very tiny, very light water droplets. Very, very tiny and light water droplets, light enough to float. But liquid water, no matter how small it is, it's still heavier than air. How can it float up? Well, for the answer to that, let us imagine ourselves at a midnight screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And at some point, someone tosses a beach ball into the audience. Now, the beach ball is light, but it's still heavier than air. And so the beach ball starts to fall down towards the ground. But before it can hit the ground, someone in the audience takes a jump to the right, the left, and then flicks their wrist. With the slightest touch, the beach ball is propelled back up, but again, being heavier than air, it falls back down again until someone else in the audience takes a step to the right and flicks it up again. And then someone else has the pelvic forget that part. But how does that work with water droplets? Well, the water droplets, very small, very light, as they start to fall, air molecules below them are pushing up on them. Those air molecules going everywhere, pushing up on the light water droplets just like the beach ball. And so that can move it up, up, up. Some of you are satisfied with that, but some of you are saying, hold on a second. Okay, there are molecules underneath pushing it up, but what about the molecules above it pushing down? What about them, huh? Well, you are correct. Very perceptive. Yes, there are water molecules pushing it back down, but the water molecules above are fewer and less energetic. They are weaker. And so that there's a net force pushing the little droplets up. And why do those droplets form? Well, it's because of surface tension, pulling the water in tightly and making it into a perfect ball, spherical shape. And the water droplets get pushed by the air up and up and up until they reach a point where the forces up and down balance, so they are in equilibrium. And that, my friend, is where they stop. And often that is high up in the sky, up where the clouds form. But that's just single droplets. How do we get clouds? Well, there are air currents, the wind, eddy currents, turbulence, pushing the water droplets here and there, and naturally they're going to bunch up in some places. Here we get a glob, here we get a blob, and so we get clouds with a wide variety of possible shapes they can take depending on the ever-changing air currents. When we have droplets, something heavier than air, suspended, floating, we call that a suspension. And in order to believe in this process of suspension, you do not need to suspend your disbelief. After all, there are many bridges. There are many bridges held up by suspension, right? Suspension bridges. And then how does a fireman hold his pants up? By suspenders, suspending his pants. Well, then we come to the question Pooh asked about how does a cloud sing aloud? Does it sing a happy little Pooh-type hum? No, it does not. It sings because some of the water particles, the water droplets, get cold enough and they freeze. They freeze into solid ice. And so we can have another state of matter, solid ice in the clouds. And when that happens, the ice can crash into the water particles and it can strip off electrons. And if this happens a lot, we get more and more electrons and it builds up a charge and it builds up a high voltage and a bigger and bigger voltage until, wham, we get a huge spark going across. And that is what we call lightning. And the lightning, as it shoots through the air and rips the air apart, forms a huge booming song that we call thunder. That is the song of the cloud. And Pooh told us something else about clouds. He said, I'm just a little black rain cloud wondering where I will drip. Yes, we all know clouds bring us rain. And when does that happen? When the particles get dense, the water droplets get dense and they start to coalesce until the particles, the droplets get too big, too heavy to stay up, and so they fall to the ground. And we have rain. And Pooh mentions the color of the cloud when it rains. When a cloud has only tiny droplets in it, we have a light, fluffy white cloud. But as the particles get